Hi, this is Lee Street B. I'm Sandra along with T the Man and S Hacker, and we're coming to you talking about the coronavirus. Right now, I hope everybody's being safe. T, it looks like you're prepared for this situation. I mean, you know, I've got the mask and all that too, but how are you all faring in Florida with the virus, man?
I am sheltering in place with my wife. That's it. Nobody come in, nobody go out. We got enough food and provisions and water for 3 weeks. Don't come here. We got enough toilet paper for 6 weeks. Don't come here. I'm willing to sell you a roll for $5, but there's a 2-roll limit. But don't come here. That's what I got to say. I'm taking this very seriously, as you can see.
How you faring there, S?
I'm not as prepared as T the Man there with the helmet and the mask, but I feel you, brother. But I'm faring well. We have provisions and toilet paper, which seems to be the goal going on in this pandemic. So we're doing well. I'm not really sheltering in place. I've limited my movements, but you know, I have to go out for my brother to get some meds or something. I do that. But otherwise, we're good.
Yeah, for myself, you know, I had problems getting toilet paper. I was able to get some. People here are really hoarding. You know, you see videos of people fighting. You know, it's at this time that, you know, we need to be a little bit kinder to each other, and we need to think about, you know, each other. There's no reason for people to be going in the store and buying whole shopping carts full of toilet paper and, you know, 2 and 3 carts of water, you know, and hauling them out the store. I mean, we're going through a lot right now. I mean, I got my water, you know, probably for most people looking to think I don't have enough food, but, you know, I don't really eat all that much, but, you know, I'm good for what I got. I do get out still. For me, I guess I've always been social distancing because my lifestyle really hasn't changed. You know, I go to work, I come home, I go to the grocery store, or what have you. You know, I mean, I'm the one who, you know, tapes the church, and so people can stay home and watch church. I think people should, you know, practice social distancing. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, T. I'm really, really upset, man, when I look on and see what the hell's going on in Florida. I mean, are you kidding me? They crowded at the beaches, man, and they're just, you know, not practicing any kind of social distancing. It seems like, you know, these people would have called all of these activities off. They certainly had time to, man, and I just think this is, you know, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, which is kind of like the incubation period, you're going to see a lot of stuff happening. And all of these people are going to leave there after this week and get on different planes and go home, and it's just going to spread it.
Yeah, Sandra, I've always said Florida's just different. You know, I've called and complained about things that go on here in Florida that don't make sense anywhere else in the world, you know. So apparently, you know, they talk about Chicago schools and the public education. I'm telling you, some of these people here educated in the Florida schools make Chicago schools look like, you know, the Nobel Prize of higher learning. That's how it is. At least up there, when somebody said they got a disease and they're contagious, we know enough to stay away. I mean, the sheriff here said that we're not going to make house calls. We're not going to come in. If we come, we might be wearing masks and gloves. And then he had to say, if you're a criminal, we're still going to arrest you. I mean, it's like you have to spell it out to these people who commit crime that they're still going to get arrested even during this coronavirus outbreak. I want to say one more thing about this virus outbreak. It isn't always fatal. It can be fatal. If you're older and you have certain symptoms and conditions, chances is your probability of being a fatality goes up. So you need to protect yourself. And even though you're young, doesn't mean that you can't die from this. So, you know, use caution, use good sense, keep your social distances. I know a lot of times you want to hug up on somebody, but you know what? You don't know where they've been, who they've been engaged with. I mean, I came through the airport, I must have used a whole thing of hand sanitizers because it's all metal, and that's surfaces where this coronavirus lies on. It stays on metal surfaces and plastic too. So just use your caution. I'm using caution here. I'm keeping distance between you two.
Like I told her, I think we've been practicing that, consider that we're in 3 different states.
Yeah,
And
I think
it still doesn't seem enough for him. He still just
Right.
wants to make sure, So it's cool, bro. And
Yeah.
hey, but I think what's so really scary about this is that you can infect people and not have symptoms yourself, that you can be a carrier. Especially for old people. Now, my mother is in an assisted living facility, and she isn't, she's shut in. I can't even Amazon her anything. They're not accepting anything. I can't go see her. And you know what? You want to kind of feel some kind of way, but everybody's in the same situation. And, right now we just have to be cautious. We have to be careful. And we have to understand that we're not just doing it for ourselves, but we're also doing it for the people that we love and the people that we're around. The scariest thing for me, T, and is that darn cart at the grocery store, man. I swear to God. And you know what? I got to think, man, I was so sick.
Put on them gloves. Put on them rubber gloves. Put on them gloves. Put the hand sanitizers on. Wipe the cart down. Put hand sanitizers on your gloves and push on. And stay out there. Get what you need and go. This ain't a shopping.
But to get what you need is the problem, T, because you know what? There's no toilet paper here. The store shelves are empty, man. These people, it is ridiculous.
Well, then, Sandra, get you some Depends, get you some diapers, get you something that you can do. If you want me to send you some of these
you can't send me nothing, bro.
And I'll send them to you.
I tell you what, you just cash at me about $200 or $300. I got
you. Hey, tell you what, why not, instead of giving you the $20 that I was going to go to the strip club and throw out, I just get 21s and you use that. How about that? You can wipe with $1, and you know what? You can wash money, just in case you didn't know.
I got toilet paper. So as so you know what, I want to talk about how we're handling this as a country. We're talking about how some people have been very unkind. We got people out here who saw the pandemic coming 2 months ago and bought up all the hand sanitizer and all the Clorox wipes and out here trying to price gouge. Hey, they had to go in there and gangster that stuff from them and actually give some of the stuff away. I think that we really need to stay informed with the doctors. There's a lot of pundits and people on the news right now, but the people who you really need to listen to are the doctors. Because when Donald Trump stands up there and within inches of all of his experts tells lies, no one behind him straightens him out. Nobody refutes what he says. Although what they said before he started to speak actually contradicts what he just said. I mean, you know what? The gaslighting, how they started out trying to handle this pandemic, how they tried to tell his base that it was a hoax, and how we're so behind the 8 ball because we wouldn't accept the test that the WHO had approved. It's just been one comedy of errors after another, but this is
what do you expect from an incompetent man? Really? I mean, you expect more than that? I didn't
expect for him to listen to his son-in-law.
He doesn't listen to nobody, Sandra. He believes in his own thing. He knows more than the doctors. He knows more than the generals.
His uncle was a doctor, so that's why he think he's smart.
Because in his own mind, one of his minions said, "Donald, you're the smartest person I know," and he's a fool, and he believes it.
Exactly. His dad was a racist, so does that make him a racist? I would say yes.
Yeah, I second that emotion.
Well, I'm just going to say, because his daddy was a racist doesn't necessarily mean he's a racist, but, he want to be like his daddy, so yeah, he's a racist.
He's a racist.
Yeah, so that's it,
the fact that him and his father are racist has been proven in court because they lost cases where they wouldn't, rent to black people. So that's actually
right. They wouldn't even show the black people, not even rent.
Instead of dealing with this pandemic that was coming up, he want funds to build a wall. Like that wall has stopped this virus. Really?
Yeah, they're trying to add.
See, this is what happens when you get stupid people. I hate to say it, but there should be a minimum level that you should be able to read at a 3rd grade education before you vote for somebody. You can't be having kindergartens just marking down there talking about stay between the lines, and they say, oh, you know, they must have wanted Donald Trump. No, that's not gonna work.
You know, and it's affected the Democratic primary situation here in Georgia. I early voted, but here in Georgia, they've set the primary back for another month. Of course, you know, Brian Kemp, he don't have no problem with messing with elections. That's what he does.
It's set the one in Alabama here for who's going to be in competition with Doug Jones. The Republican primary has been rescheduled until July, I believe, with Tommy Tuberville and Jefferson Beauregard Sessions. That will be in July.
Well, we did ours in Florida. You know, I guess they want to get them votes in, get it done. And I just want to say, every candidate that had dropped out since the beginning when they first announced them, they had like literally all 15 of these people on the damn ballot. And I'm saying to myself, there ain't but 2 people. I mean, they said, well, the ballots have already been printed. What did they do? They just heard that these people were running and they just threw their names down? I mean,
yeah, it was the same when I went, and I remember I put on Facebook that there's 489 people on the ballot. Pick one vote.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was like that when I also went and voted. You know, all the presidential candidates who had dropped off, their names were still there. Yeah. I guess they have.
So I just wanted to make sure that I, you know, picked the right one. They weren't in any kind of special order, you know.
Since I see the one I want, I just wrote my name in.
Yeah. So you see that Joe Biden has been, you know, out speaking about the coronavirus. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter. I do. He's been speaking very presidential. I think that that's a really good thing for Biden to do. As we can see the last few weeks, Joe Biden apparently has taken some medicine and he's perked up. You know, he's able to like speak in coherent sentences and say things that make sense. And when people ask him a question, sometimes he actually answers the question. So needless to say,
it's the new Joe.
Hey, Joe has been energized. You know, you must have given him that antidepressant medication. Say, Joe, you're winning now, so you know he's good to go.
Yeah, Joe got that good. He's on that Adderall probably. And I'm just speculating. You know, perk up, Joe. All right, I'm back. It's the new Joe.
So one thing about Joe Biden is that we all know that Joe Biden is competent, and Joe Biden knows how to hire competent people. You know, so I'm just gonna say, if he hires his son-in-law, or in his case, you know, maybe son-in-law or daughter-in-law or whoever. Well, not with Hunter Biden, but you know what I'm trying to say. If he hires a family member, if he hires a family member, they will be competent. That's the point.
Yeah, it's okay.
See, I can't read your lips. If you take your mask off, then I can read your lips, but I can't.
No, go on the mask. No.
I'm scared to go to a store that's a masked black man came in here. I thought he was gonna rob us because he had a mask on.
Yeah.
No, you robbed him of his mask. That's what you did.
I mean, you know, they say that if you are infected, you should wear a mask.
You should stay
masks are in very short supply. You've got nurses cutting their gowns, making homemade masks.
And that's some shizy.
And then having to reuse that homemade mask. I mean, things are really, really desperate right now. I mean, supplies are really, I was talking about medical supplies are really, really short right now. Again, you know, when you go into the doctor's office and you go in there and you snatch up all the masks while the doctor's not in there, and you know, just think about those individuals who actually work there that need them.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well, they should have got it when it was out there.
Yeah, and here they're closing down public restaurants because people are going in and stealing toilet paper.
Well, you know what? They've been closing restaurants to sit in because of the virus. You are able to get curbside service. You're able to get drive-through service. But, I mean, yeah, the stealing of toilet paper. I'm sure
and the hand washing stuff. They're stealing that also out of public restaurants.
It's desperate times, man. Desperate times are calling for desperate measures.
Desperate times, desperate measures.
No, you better get a hot rag.
And here in Florida, soon as we, people buying up cases of water, it ain't like it's gonna be hurricane season again. You're gonna be right back at it. Thank God this didn't come during hurricane season.
I know.
It'll be a major catastrophe. And it still could end up that way.
Yeah, because we have an idiot in charge.
We might lose 1 million people, worldwide. So that's a catastrophe to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's he gonna tell us? You heard about Andrew Gillum?
Well, again, we have to go back to Florida, right?
Again, I don't know what it is.
It's in the water. Hey, y'all hating on this man because he went to a wedding and got drunk? Is that what y'all are trying to tell me?
No, I'm hating on the man because he lied about going to a wedding.
He was at supposedly a wedding that didn't exist, and that you're drunk and you're butt naked, and the man next to you was passed out on crystal meth. And the escort is the one that's calling the police. And may I add the male escort, and you're a married man. I mean, there's a lot of men on the down low, but Andrew, this is not a good look for you, and rehab ain't gonna save you.
Well, you know what? I can truly say that, I'm disappointed because, he was being touted as possibly being one of the individuals that they would choose for vice president. You know what? There's been a lot of people who have made a lot of mistakes. I just, pray for him and his family. I feel sorry for, his wife and his kids right now, but hopefully, he can recover and he can get over this and, restore his career. You only get, one time sometimes to just kind of do a do-over, and I think he's young enough. I think he's bright enough, to pull it together. But you know what? Meth is a horrible, horrible drug. Wow. You're there with 2 male escorts, and you are, not truthful about, you being there with for a wedding. They said that he started drinking after he lost his election. I see so much hope in him. I just feel like sometimes, people need to understand that the world is really rough, and you got proclivities, and if you can't show up in the world and be who you are and be yourself, this is what can transpire. This is what can take place, So we really don't know, what his proclivities are, but needless to say, it's time for him to really just kind of take a step back and figure out who he really is, But one thing he is a father, and he's a husband, and you know what? I just wish him the best. I really do.
I do too. And again, we've all gone through I wouldn't say we all gone through something that we wanted.
Yeah, don't drag don't drag me in there.
No. I'm not gonna put you in a wedding. We've all gone through, things that we've wanted and they did not occur. But
winning that lottery, it didn't occur.
Right. You too. So it exposed to me. I'm grateful that it exposed what he's currently going through so that he can get some help, right? It's not about, me wanting him to be a great politician. No, I just want him to be a great person to his family, right? So I want him to get his act together, not for me as a voter, but as a husband and especially as a father. He needs that time in rehab to get himself together.
Yeah, because when he go home
just
to
for
his
family,
wife, he got some explaining to do.
Well, he has a lot.
And I'm gonna tell you, I don't think he's gonna be able to find words to suffice it, other than to say I'm sorry, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. The fact that he's a married man out there cheating, that it doesn't matter if he's gay, straight, or in between. He's out there cheating. He's betraying his partner and
his vow.
And that's what it is. It's an act of betrayal.
Right.
And it's nobody likes somebody who they can't trust. And so, like I said, I hope he finds the help that he needs. But he's gonna need more than just rehab for his alcoholism or his drug addiction. There's some other issues going on that he needs some help too, and it's going to be a long process for him.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, God bless him, and I just hope rehab is successful. Well, guys, it's been a long few weeks. You know, we possibly might be in this pandemic. They say July, August. You know, they signed a stimulus package. They want to, you know, send some money, you know, to individuals and to people who are store owners and what have you. I just, you know, I mean, I just want to make sure that, you know, when they do the stimulus package, that people like Jeff Bezos, you know, are not, you know, getting this money. At the same time, you know, you got to feel for the Amazon workers out there, you know, delivering, you know.
Well, you know, some people say, oh, look at all the money they're making. They're making overtime money. They're getting all this money. But you know what? You want to spend time with your family. And just because they're delivering packages, there's no telling. They may go to a door or encounter somebody and catch this virus through the air, airborne. I mean, they're taking a certain amount of risk too. You know, nothing is 100% safe.
Well, you know what? Those individuals that are out there trying to keep society sustained, such as, you know, Amazon, such as all of those people, Uber Eats, whoever it is that you're calling to come and deliver your food, and you can request whether, you know, contact or non-contact now. Healthcare workers, they have to be out and about. I'm still working. So, you know, we just have to, you know, we just have to go out there, socially distance ourselves, you know, make sure that we are washing our hands, keep hand sanitizer with us, take this real seriously. It's not a joke. And, you know, and understand that us taking care of ourselves is being responsible and making sure that, you know, we don't infect somebody unknowingly because we aren't ourselves symptomatic.
Right.
So, man, it's been a lot, guys. I don't know if this is going to go on. You know, when I think about it, I mean, we can't go to the movies. You know, we can't go. I went to a play Sunday and they shut the play down. They had already, you know, cut it off a week, but then they just shut the play down. So there's no place. I have tickets for Hamilton in April. That's not going down. The tennis matches, the French is going to be after the U.S. Open. The NBA has shut down. NCAA,
the Masters has been canceled.
Yeah, exactly. $1 billion business that has totally shut down. I mean, I feel like we're at a inflection point, and I don't know, but for myself, I don't think that we're ever going to be the same.
Right.
Well, you know what? We're never going to get the same. We're not going to. Normally, you said we'll come back, we'll be better. But in order for us to come back and be better, we got to get rid of this incompetent person in the White House. Exactly. I blame him for everything. He doesn't want to read. He doesn't want to learn. People tell him about pandemic. He doesn't believe in science. And now, because he goes on that whole little mantra, it's the Democrats' fault. It's a hoax. It's not a hoax. Democrats didn't go to Italy and put this coronavirus there. Democrats didn't go to Canada and give the prime minister coronavirus. So, you know, and then just his ignorance is killing us. And we got to get rid of that.
His ignorance and his bigotry, calling the disease the Chinese coronavirus.
Well, let's brand it the Trump virus. How about that? He like branded.
Yeah, but his racist branding of this is just despicable. It really is. You know, the Wusa, you know, virus. I mean, just and then, you know what? I just saw on the internet, you know, people of Asian descent, people are just walking up to him, you know, hitting them, beating them up. 2 weeks ago, you had people putting up signs in their businesses saying, you know, no Asians, sorry, as if, you know, it's okay. You know, I'm being racist, but I said I'm sorry.
Right.
You know.
Well, the whole problem is they can't tell the Asians apart. They can't tell Koreans from Japanese, from Chinese, from Thai, from people from Indonesia. They can't
Malaysia.
tell them apart.
You can't.
There's a distinct difference between each group. And within the Chinese culture, there's a distinct difference.
Right.
You know, so when you got these ignorant people running around there with their Trump flag and Confederate flag, and, you know, it's just like sad. And Italy, you know, listen, there are so many people dead, dying. They can't even bear it. You can't grieve. I was in Chicago for a funeral, and even though I was aware of the virus, I heard that it was in Australia, and I knew people who had just flew in the day before from Australia. Normally you would hug them. Can't do that. Give them some dap. You know, that's what I did. Because I'm not a scientist and I'm not a doctor, but I know enough that if it's contagious and it can go by touch, or breathing, I'm gonna keep my distance.
Right.
That's it. I'm just gonna be safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And also too, T, I don't know if you saw it. I certainly had posted it that Evanston Hospital has come up with the treatment for the coronavirus. So if I didn't see that article, go out there on Facebook.
I checked it out.
Yeah, so I just said Evanston's doing its part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, I really feel like we need to understand that when you have changed our lives by taking all of the sports and everything away, it's beyond economics. This is about lives. You got what, 2-3 NBA players out there who've tested positive.
More than that.
Yeah, well, more than that now. But initially, it was a couple of them. One guy's touching all of the mics.
Yeah, he was the main guy who had it.
And he also gave a kid an autograph, and the kid got it.
Exactly.
So we really have to understand that this is real, and let's just be careful out there, man. Let's just be careful,
And poor Floyd Mayweather, his mother of his kid died. His uncle died.
And he also was Kobe Bryant's friend, so
Kobe Bryant died. It's been a lot. It's been a lot for the whole nation, and individually. People, it's been a lot, so I like I said, I don't know where we go from here. We're just moving and adjusting and trying to adapt.
That's all we can do.
Go forward, because that's the key. You can't stand still. We got to move forward. And
I think all of us are scared of martial law, though. I think that, when it gets to the point where you got tanks in the streets, I think a lot of people are upset about that, but I think that curfews are going to happen. But I just hope that
I don't know why people are congregating, because the restaurants aren't letting you in. So where are they congregating? I mean, other than Florida, they're running to the beaches.
Right. Well, they're running to the beaches here in Alabama too.
Yeah, they're doing it in Alabama too.
Nobody's going to be in the water. So I think Trump will use that as an excuse or martial law. But you know what? Hey, listen, there's even those military people have family, and they can't afford to catch this either.
Exactly.
So it's best that, if he's smart, which we know he's not, but hopefully somebody will give him some insight and say, no, this is not a good idea. I think San Francisco has got people under
they have an area that's under quarantine, because it's like the hood.
I know it's there. I don't know how well they're enforcing it, because there's only so many cops. You might have 100 for 10,000 people.
There was one guy who tested positive, and he left the hospital and told him that he wasn't going to quarantine himself, so that they just went on and set the police in front of his house.
Those are officers that they use can do for other resources. So I don't know why. Listen. Just put a big ass yellow tape on his door and says, health department.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, okay. When you break that tape, it's a problem.
Put like Trump do. Just put one of them metal cages around his house and say health department off limits.
I worry the most about the situations that aren't being addressed. And when I think about the prison population, I think about, with my mother, like being in a nursing home, if one of the workers or one of the people that, live there or, and gets it, I mean, it could just go through the whole place. And I think that the last thing people are, caring about is some place like the prison population. But man, they're stuck in there. And if somebody gets that disease, I mean, it could really, really go through. And I think that they need to let people out that they
waiting trial that are innocent.
Right.
You haven't gone to trial.
You're in there on a scofflaw violation because you didn't pay your parking ticket. The judge sentencing you for 15 days because you're a scofflaw.
That's just enough time to get this disease.
Or you might be in there on a domestic because you and your wife got into a fight and you pushed her or you slapped her. But they still need
that one, I can't. He needs to stay in. Okay, so okay.
No, Sandra, because
I'm not gonna debate that one. I'm not. He needs to stay in.
He's there. But it ruins families. he can't go back home. Where can he go? You know?
Exactly.
Now you got somebody with the disease running around. There you go. You know?
Yeah,
You
there's a
gotta
lot
think
of
these
situations.
sometimes you mean well, but these things are short-sighted. That's
right.
That are hard to be addressed in this huge, you know, situation that we're in. So I think that, you know, we need to pray for them people, you know, because there's a lot, you know, most people in jail, they're not going to stay there forever. You know, they've done something pretty petty and now they're in there and, you know, it's like a Peachtree dish in there. It's crazy, you know. But anyway, guys, you know what? I want y'all to stay safe. You know, T, I know you good. I got my mask. S, you know, do the same. Let's pray for each other, you know, and let's just try to get through this. I mean, if we're going to be doing this until July or August, we're going to have a lot of conversation.
Right.
Sounds good.
Definitely.
Well, I'm going to give you each some dap.
Virtual dab, T the man. Virtual dab. Bam.
Yeah. Until next week, this is Lee Street Beat, T the Man, Sandra Tucker, and S Hacker. Stay safe, protect yourself as best you can. If you need to shelter in place, it's only temporary because you want to be able to see another day and have your family safe. So until next time, goodbye.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Peace and wash your hands.
Yes, wash your hands.